Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 unexpected, disturbing movie scenes.
Seems that envy is my sin.
Oh, what's in the box?
Yes, the danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing.
For this list, we'll be going over the upsetting scenes from films that caught us off guard upon first viewing. Since some of these moments deal with plot points, there will be spoilers ahead. So cover your ears and make noises like blah, 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 man, I can't hear you, blah, 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 during those moments. If you're disturbed by the fact that we unexpectedly left something off our list, please tell us in the comments. And be gentle. Here we go. Now, let's get disturbed. Unexpectedly, of course. Number 10. Large Marge, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Pee-wee Herman is a goofy and guileless man-child whose only mission in this adventure film is to locate his beloved bicycle after it's stolen. His quest takes him across the United States, and his main method of travel tends to be hitchhiking. Although his travels cause him to encounter plenty of colorful characters, one of the most memorable is Large Marge.
Thanks for stopping.
While hitching with this trucker, she tells him the story of an accident. And when she gets to the bit about revealing what happened to the driver, she turns to Pee-wee and reveals a shocking claymation face that comes absolutely out of nowhere.
And when they finally pulled the driver's body from the twisted, burning wreck, it looked like this.
Although we considered a similar jump scare from Lord of the Rings, Large Marge traumatized us first. And remember, tell 'em Large Marge sent you. Number 9. Best Taste, Snowpiercer. This post-apocalyptic action film follows a revolt by the inhabitants of the tail compartment of the tidal train against their decadent forward section overlords, who keep them living in squalor. Their leader, Curtis, is a reluctant and hard man who is forced to sacrifice his second-in-command, Edgar, to further their cause. But just before the engine, Curtis reveals his horrific backstory. When he was younger and deprived of food, he and other passengers resorted to cannibalism.
It's 1,000 people in an iron box. No food, no water. After a month, we ate the week.
Edgar, who hero-worshipped Curtis, was nearly eaten by him as an infant. This speech completely flipped our perceptions of the protagonist and is incredibly disturbing to boot.
I know that babies taste best.
Number 8. Pink Elephant Parade, Dumbo. The adventures of the big-eared elephant that gives this classic Disney movie its name are often heart-wrenching, but they're still largely standard family-friendly fare. That is, until Dumbo and his mouse buddy Timothy get drunk. The two of them then hallucinate a group of pink elephants who sing a song. Sounds fine enough on paper, but in execution, the result is terrifying.
Look out, pink elephants on parade, here they come, hippity-hoppity.
The pink elephants, empty eyes, and the trippy, haunting dirge have traumatized generations of children. The whole experience feels like a fever dream on acid, cooked up by someone who wants to freak out kids.
When things are odd or things are quaint, but seeing things you know that ain't can certainly give you an awful fright. What a sight!
Number 7. Face Melting, Raiders of the Lost Ark. The first Indiana Jones may be a fun adventure movie, but it still has some surprisingly brutal deaths in it. A guy gets torn apart by a propeller, for instance.
Come on,
Still, it's the finale that most people remember. Captured by the Nazis who have the Ark of the Covenant, Indy advises Marion not to look, but the Third Reich is all about gazing at their prize as it's opened.
Don't look, Ray! Keep your eyes shut!
Spirits and fire emerge from within, melting their faces in a disturbingly graphic moment. The franchise would try to recapture this kind of shocking, vivid death in later installments, like in The Last Crusade, but Raiders did it best.
What is happening to me?
Number 6. The Snap. Avengers Infinity War. 19 movies in, people were pretty familiar with the Marvel Cinematic Universe's formula, until Avengers Infinity War flipped the script. Big bad Thanos isn't defeated by the Avengers in a big battle, at least in this movie, but instead succeeds in his mission to acquire all the Infinity Stones. And with a snap heard around the universe, he is able to wipe out half of all life.
You should have gone for the head.
Fans of the comics probably saw this coming, but even they probably weren't prepared for how distressing it was to watch our favorite heroes dissolve into dust before our eyes.
No. Groot. No.
Therapists probably made a mint on Spider-Man's death alone.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go, sir. Please. Please, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Sorry.
Number 5. The Tunnel of Fear. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. This candy-coated musical film begins innocently enough. There's songs, bright colors, and sweets galore. Everything kids love.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination.
And sure, one of the kids taking the tour through the chocolate factory getting sucked up into a pipe to an uncertain fate is pretty weird. But let's forget all that and go on the fun boat ride, right? Wrong. Far from making it an enchanting experience, Willy Wonka seems to be doing his best to terrify both the tour and the audience, showing them disturbing imagery projected on the walls while delivering an off-kilter, creepy song.
There's no earthly way of knowing
He's singing.
which direction we are going.
And then it's back to the chocolate and candy. What? Talk about tonal whiplash. Do the Oompa Loompas provide mental health counseling? Just asking for a friend.
Oompa, loompa, doompa-dee-doompa. I've got another puzzle for you.
Number 4. An offer he can't refuse. The Godfather. Despite famously beginning with a wedding, an undercurrent of violence lies throughout the beginning of The Godfather. Threats, both explicit and implicit, are featured in much of the dialogue Don Corleone, his family, and their associates deliver.
Someday, and that day may never come, I'll call upon you to do a service for me. But until that day, accept this justice as a gift on my daughter's wedding day.
When the Don's godson requests his help in securing a movie part, it's pretty obvious that something bad is going to happen to the head of the studio, Jack Waltz, when he refuses.
I want you to rest well, and a month from now, this Hollywood big shot's gonna give you what you want.
It's too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Even though it's set up that Jack loves his horse, seeing him wake up to find its severed head in his bed is shocking and horrendous to even contemplate being in his place. Number 3. What's in the Box? 7.
Wanting people to listen, you can't just tap them on the shoulder anymore. You have to hit them with a sledgehammer. And then you'll notice you've got their strict attention.
Seven features some profoundly disturbing murders themed around the 7 deadly sins being investigated by 2 detectives. As tempted as we are to discuss the deeply upsetting sloth scene, the movie's infamous finale is arguably more disturbing. The serial killer, known only as John Doe, has directed the detective duo out to a remote field. Sure, but he's already in custody. There's no way he can do anything now.
And what I've done is going to be puzzled over and studied and followed forever.
This is technically true. It's what Doe has already done that's so distressing.
What's in the box?
Not till you give me the
What's
gun.
in the box?
After turning himself in, Doe reveals that he killed Detective David Mills' wife and mailed her head to the field, hoping to goad David into wrathfully completing the sins.
Become vengeance, David.
Oh, she's all right. You tell me.
Become wrath.
Villain victories are always disturbing, but few are quite this twisted. Number 2, The Truth, Oldboy. The premise of Oldboy is nightmare enough. Dae-soo is imprisoned for 15 years for reasons he doesn't understand. After being mysteriously released, he goes hunting for his captors, while also falling for a young chef, Mi-do.
강금방에서 보낸 세월이 고맙게 느껴진다. 예전에 오대수였다면 미도가 날 이렇게 좋아했을까?
It's a roaring rampage of revenge, but Dae-soo ultimately catches up with his captor, Woo-jin.
당신이 그날 일을 기억 못하는 진짜 이유가 뭔 줄 알아? 그건 말이야. 그냥 잊어버린 거야.
Dae-soo witnessing and then speaking about Woo-jin's inappropriate relationship with his sister, leading to her death, was shocking enough. But it's not quite as brutal as the full extent of his captor's revenge.
틀린 질문만 하니까 맞는 대답이 나올 리가 없잖아. 왜 이유진은 오대수를 가뒀을까가 아니라 왜 풀어줬을까란 말이야.
It turns out that Mi-do is actually Dae-soo's daughter, and Woo-jin has manipulated Dae-soo using hypnosis to force him into an inappropriate relationship of his own with her. Dae-soo doesn't handle it well, to put it mildly, and neither do we. As if you weren't disturbed enough already, before we get to our top pick, we got a few honorable mentions to knock out. So here you go. Scarabs, The Mummy, Under the Skin, Big Ol' Nope.
Whoa!
Sid's Toys, Toy Story. Sid's got to be related to Dr. Frankenstein, right?
Hi there, little fella. Come out here. Do you know a way out of here?
Skull Bear, Annihilation. There are scary bears, and then there's this thing. Ceti Eels, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Squirmy things going inside your ears should be on everyone's no-go list. Baby Hallucination, Trainspotting. No high could be worth this.
Stop!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Chestburster, Alien.
How you doing? Terrific. Next silly question.
So we all know about this scene now, but watching it for the first time, no one's prepared for it. This sci-fi horror classic sees the crew of the Nostromo investigate a crashed alien ship, only for one of the crew, Kane, to be attacked by an alien creature. Fortunately, it detaches itself from his face and he appears a little worse for the wear.
What's the matter? The food ain't that bad, baby.
That is, until the crew is sitting around having a meal and the infant alien implanted in Kane's body bursts out of his chest, finishing him and leaving the Nostromo crew and the audience with nightmares for life.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.